Okay.
Yay.
Hello.
Go.
Hello, stream.
Do a recap.
Hi.
We are missing a person and gained a new one, another one.
Yeah, we swap
So,
We'll
yeah,
be
coming
beating
in
his
off,
ass tomorrow.
Yes.
coming in off of last time, we have, I believe, who all failed their save is my real question, because I can't even recall. I know
my dog.
Don't worry about
that
it.
I think I failed mine because I remember I was still like kind of in my body and then I hit the wall and then it was immediately transported back into the skull.
so our cleric failed theirs. Athriel passed his. Arthur passed his. Rivali,
My dog did not. My dog
Yeah, your
knocked
dog
itself
didn't.
out.
Yeah, your dog is fully fainted. Thankfully, has sort of found himself in a cusp on the deck.
Mhm.
Rune is not there. Fitz is fine. Rivali also failed, I believe.
Yeah.
And so you're holding on by like what? The railing?
Yeah.
I
Right.
thought it was,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I thought it was behind the ship or something.
they are behind the ship, sort of like basically holding on for dear life. They are about to be in a situation where they may be fully off. I need so everyone who failed. So Abigail's fine, I believe, because they're just a body in this case.
Yeah.
So, oh no, Fitz did fail.
Yeah.
So, Fitz, Arthur, and Rivali, I need you guys to roll a few saves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Fitz, you didn't fully knock yourself out. You are clinging to railing as well. Rivali, you grabbed on essentially like right behind, not even right behind Fitz, but right behind Luke, who is just about fallen off. He just, with a dirty 20, yanked onto the fucking anchor rope. It's like, no. All right, there we go.
Help! Please! Help!
Yeah, the rest of you quickly either roll me a dexterity save or a strength save, up to you.
Wait a minute. Is this Arthur or Diana?
Diana is knocked out.
Okay.
You're gonna roll me. You're
Oh,
just
I'm
gonna roll
fine.
me one save. Dex or strength.
This is a save?
Yeah. Sweet. Arthur. With a dirty 20, I'll say that you can also grab onto your wolf.
Mhm.
As you essentially try not to fly off of the ship.
Don't worry, Diana, I got you.
Fitz.
Yeah.
Now, you can get back onto the ship, but you will take damage. So, here is what you're looking at. This is a small ship, maybe 20 feet long at the most. You are holding on by basically like railing. Your arms sort of hooked in, like I am not going to fall off. I'm not going to. Whoa! As this thing bucks and yaws and tries essentially to sprint on the water, a thing it cannot do. With no one there to pilot it. This Fey did not have to roll a save, as they are essentially just spider climbing on the deck. They can't be thrown off of it.
Lovely.
This
Goddamn it,
difficult
high
terrain. So I'll allow you to sort of, you can tell me what you'd like to do. There are 2 masts, there's rigging, there is a full deck ahead of you, and the wheel is strangely at the front of the ship rather than the rear.
Can I try to catch him?
He hasn't fallen off yet. It's his choice whether he wants to sort of try and get back onto the deck or like throw himself up top or let go.
I am going to try to pull myself up to the deck.
Great. So rolling off the dexterity save of 11, I'm going to go ahead and roll you, I think we'll do just a d8 of damage. It's not too terrible.
Okay.
So essentially what you're doing, so imagine you have a car going at like 20 miles an hour up down a bunch of speed bumps.
Yep.
And you have your face pressed to the door.
commit great crime and going to bust nut
Yeah,
in water
it's like
tower.
bam, bam, as you're trying to pull yourself up.
Okay. You're gonna have to repeat that because people keep doing sound alerts. New rule: no sound alerts during D&D.
Sorry.
You're good. So what I was getting at is, imagine, yeah, you're essentially in a car going 20 miles an hour down a bumpy road, and your face is pressed against the door. In this case, your face is pressed against the railing, but it's the same problem of you're trying desperately to hold on for dear life, and it's just thud, 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 as you're like, thankfully not having a broken jaw by the end of this, but you are fucking already bruised. It's like, God damn it.
Mm.
As this, essentially a creature, is trying to rid itself, or perhaps trying to gain control of itself without any pilot or anybody to tame it. The Fey looks charmed almost by the silver that they have sort of applied to themselves. They are basically mostly wooden. They are Spriggan. They have like huge pixie wings, but they are fully out of it, staring at this shiny stuff. And again, like I said, seemingly charmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Arthur.
Can I roll to try to take control?
Of the ship?
To try to get to like the helm of it, to try and like ease it.
So with a dirty 20, you're definitely back on the deck with no damage. Diana is like fully knocked out. I imagine you drop them into like a bundle of rope or something where they can't fly off.
Yeah. Stay there, girl.
In your situation, you can definitely try and get up to the front. You're not sure that this Fey would even dare try and stop you in this situation.
Okay. So I guess, am I going to make an athletics check to like brute force my way to?
Yes. Yeah, an athletics check to try and get to the front. In 1 second as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and check this out. Go ahead and roll that
Sorry,
dex save.
I didn't realize
Or
it
not
was
dex
going to
save,
be that
the
loud.
athletics check.
No, to be fair, it wasn't really loud. It was just Steven did the bus nut water tower, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is gonna get really annoying.
Ew.
Here I am in the background, not knowing what the fuck is going on.
You're not alive yet,
Just
buddy.
consuming mochis like a bitch.
Enjoy your
What a
mochis.
bitch.
This is your moment to
What a
enjoy your
bitch.
mochis before you are brought in for death. So Jackson, you got that backup character built?
What?
Don't worry about it. With a check like that, you're fucking fine. With an athletics check of a 24, you manage to get to the front of the ship as fast as possible. And I'm actually going to... That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Jesus.
That's a nat 20 for the Spriggan.
Ooh.
Less nice.
So they are going to go ahead and quickly do something. So they are not really all there in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Very much, again, focused on the silver they have taken, your silver, that you gave them willingly. And are looking over their hand. As you see, again, that silver slowly melting further down their arm. Almost as if they're trying to make themselves out of this silver, like starting to become shiny in some regard.
Mm-hmm.
Or
It's like
maybe
the
gild
crab from Moana.
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
God,
Midas
if
touch.
only. But yeah, it seems they're trying to gild themselves. You can go ahead and roll me an insight if you so choose, as they work on doing a thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's
Volley from where he is. Buddy, I'll give you another silver if you please, for the love of fuck, pilot the ship.
he seems like he's at least very interested in it. Your understanding of what he's doing right now is like null and void. He's just very, very interested in how like maybe the shine, maybe the value. You can't really get a beat on him.
Well, if it's silver, it's a pure metal. So.
As he is going to like wickedly like sort of turn a hand out to you, not the silvered one. You instead see the sort of gnarled wood of his hand sort of crunch and pull away from itself as he reaches out like pretty hard, in fact, and sort of snatches at your chest. And he's going to do Vampiric Touch.
Hey, yo.
It's an attack of opportunity. Now it says 16, but he did roll 20 on physical die. And he is casting this as a 5th level spell. It's not terrible. He'll be rolling that twice on the damage roll, at least. Because it critted. which makes that an 11, 14, so 25 damage. As on attack of opportunity, just reaches out and grabs you. Where's the rest? More silver? More. I need it. I need. Yeah. As he sort of pulls closer, and you feel these sort of like, again, this twisted wood sink into your chest. He yanks you forward, no longer clenching his hand, instead sort of a palm out as you feel vines twist into your chest. And that's your bit, Arthur. Here you go.
Wait, was he doing the damage to me?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he essentially just reaches out. Vampiric touch. Seems to be trying to do something, and he takes half of that damage in health. So he gains 12 hit points.
Oh no, Arthur, look out! The Nightman is cometh.
I am the Night
It's-
Man.
It's the Night Yorb.
Okay,
You need
so
the day. You need the day, man.
Oh, shoot.
so 25 is
Yes,
the damage,
25.
right?
Yes. If you would have listened to me.
No, sorry. I was just like, okay, wait, who's taking the damage?
I said it was Arthur.
I know. My brain was frying.
Your
You
brain
guys
is
are so mean to me.
I'm sorry.
I'm not doing anything.
That's
Don't lump me in with these fucks.
I'm being good and waiting my turn.
So
Oh my
he basically sucks some of my
He
freaking
essentially
black
reaches
viscous
out.
blood.
He was given the silver by you, so he's reaching out, sort of trying to stop you, trying maybe to get more. That's what he has said. He's like, "Where's the rest? I need more." And in fact, this isn't like very. It may not be the image of a beautiful storm on the Celestine Sea, but I do have an image for the ship. It's not the view with the leggies, but one moment. 3 by 990. Oh god damn you! Where are you?
And oh, I'm so sorry.
God damn you!
I'm
Every
so
day I
sorry.
feel sadder. More sad? No, sadder.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. What brings you round to bend, buddy? How you doing? Oh, you've been going to uni?
Darkness
Wow.
needs to leave.
Everybody who is not from America has left. All of Ian's viewers, all of them.
Oh,
Because
well,
that's definitely his audience, Europe.
damn.
The only people who watch Ian are from the Eurobike YouTube channel.
Don't worry. The Europeans are used to getting shit on.
What the fuck?
Gross.
That's not literally. God damn it. Fuck.
That's Germany, actually.
This is indeed a ship.
What?
Why is there a big ass statue on this boat?
Because people worship God sometimes.
Lame.
Nerds.
How do you think it got the legs?
No. To be honest,
Ayo?
this is just an image to sort of signify boat.
I guess.
I'm trying my best.
Fucking
Leave me alone.
No.
How dare you? No. In this specific instance, though, you guys, again, not a very big ship. At the very longest, it's like 20, 30 feet.
Right.
And yeah, you are fully stopped in your tracks, Arthur. As again, he's just sort of stopped you here, staring at this silver that's slowly melting over him and realizing it's just not enough for what he's trying to do. You, at the very least, I'll say this: you sort of maybe realize in this moment, maybe you should have paid him after he took you where you wanted to go.
Yeah. Not the smartest decision
Yar
I've made.
har diddly dee. The pirates are robbing me.
Uh, I will say, in order of operation now, going up back through the way we came. Rivali, this is on to you.
Okay.
So you fully saved. You didn't fall off the ship. You're doing okay.
Lucky.
Rivali, in this instance, what do you decide to do? What are you trying to do as you sort of yank yourself back onto the ship as Luke is like, wait, no! Trying to get up with you?
Well, did he make his save? Is he good?
Luke looks like he's gonna do okay, yeah. He's doing fine. He's he's slowly climbing up the way through the anchor. He's probably gonna end up in the lower deck coming up.
Rivali's gonna look down at him and holler, "Are you good?" Give him a thumbs up. And
He is like being sprayed with speedboat amounts of water. It's just, oh my god.
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, no.
Hey, he was trying to kill us not long ago. Rivali is holding your grudge, okay? Piss off.
Fitz, you see the only other bard sort of like he's holding onto a really strong water hose and just being thwapped around every so often, smacked into a wave, just like boom, 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 boom. Whoosh.
He said I had no bitches. This is what he gets.
Like I said, Fitz, he's fine.
Yeah,
You
he's
good?
fine. Yeah, I'll live.
Distantly, Syl
sort
is
of.
just like, no bitches.
Fuck off,
Listen
Syl.
here, Syl. We're not taking this from the man who says yogurt like yogurt.
Yogurt.
I will send Elric to pluck your tongue out.
But yeah, this is essentially what you see Rivali as. Yeah, he is fully fucked up. Our cleric, Velody, she is absolutely fucked up. At least to the regard of she is still sort of just like thwacked against the side of the railing. Thankfully, her body didn't fly off, but she's fully fainted. In fact, I'll say that she has found her body right here in the back in the sort of like water skiff.
Oh shit.
In a way where she's not going to die. Essentially, that's a sort of dry area. Unless the whole ship floods, that's fine.
I feel like I should go grab her. Rivali
Yeah.
stands there, kind of squints a little bit.
The current landscape that you see is Arthur, this like new person that's like, pretty powerful, at least according to what you've been able to notice off of them. Just get fully stopped by this sort of spindling person made of wood. Their nails sinking into his chest in a way that indicates they are attacking him.
So this is a fight now.
It appears to be some sort of like, yeah, whether it's like a full-on combat or just essentially like a scuffle, unclear at the moment.
Grab his dick and twist it.
Do what, Ian?
Grab his dick and twist it.
Wait a minute, hold up. Did he do necrotic damage to me?
No, you gotta scream.
He
You gotta
did-
yell when you do it.
The only necrotic damage he did in this case, yeah, he did 11 of that damage was necrotic. Oh wait, no, all of that damage was necrotic.
Okay, so I take half of that.
Oh, then you take
Grab
12.
his dick and twist it.
I take
It was only
12.
12. Yeah, it was only 12. Sorry.
Yeah,
about
no, don't worry. I've completely forgot. Oh yeah, right. I'm resistant to necrotic.
But Rivali, what is your instinct here? Is my question.
Okay, assuming Austin's little fling is fine, Rivali is going to step up and use his left arm to grab the arm of the Spriggan and like twist it away from Arthur.
Yeah, roll me a strength check. We'll actually do a post strength here.
1 sec.
Now they're not super strong, so this should be pretty fair.
I'd like to roll some adversity dice, please.
How many do you have?
Let me see. I have 4. I would like to roll. Yeah, fuck it, I'll roll 2.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2d8. Awesome.
Horrible.
So you got a 13. That's awesome. They are going to roll. So they have a +3 to strength. So they're not as strong as you. So
damn
as you go to yank their hand away from Arthur's chest,
I'm not even
Arthur,
trying to yank it. I'm just trying to twist them away from it.
Yeah. Okay. As you try
At the very least, just to
twist
get
them
him
away.
to get away from him.
Their hand is anchored into him. There is not a way that you feel like, even as you try to twist it, his arm twists and his hand stays exactly as it is. Sort of like if you took a ball joint on a doll and twisted it. As their entire forearm just twists the whole way around. They sort of just turn to you and sort of rebuff you with their shoulder and just thunk you away as hard as they can. It's only 1 point of damage, but they do knock you back 5 feet.
Alright.
Fitz.
Yes.
As you throw yourself onto the top deck, what do you do? So, where do you want to land, is my question, as you sort of yank yourself up here?
I want to say I'm probably... we'll say probably about to maybe here-ish.
Got it. So the mid-range.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mid.
As you find yourself sort of on the midship, in fact, like right near where you fell off even, there's rigging near you that you can sort of pull yourself forward by. This is sort of like a deadliest catch moment, even though the waters are perfectly calm, just based on speed alone. The waves are massive because you're hitting small buffets that immediately turn into massive sprays of ocean water. And because the water and like the gravity and everything here don't really make sense, some of that water just sort of becomes solid in front of the ship and is thudded through like a solid object.
Oh no.
In those cases, you can even hear the wood beginning to splinter. As very, like, at the very front of the ship, there is a crash through. And sort of you, as somewhat of a captain, can even notice the failings here of, like, this creature doesn't understand what it's doing. It's not made to run on its own, and you literally watch a hairline fracture go the entire length of the ship's bow, as it's just a slow and kind of ominous as it yanks itself slowly down the ship, and you watch a bit of the bow splinter and begin to fray.
Shit.
Fitz.
Mhm.
You basically have full free reign here. Your movement is enough to get from the head to the end of the ship within that same movement speed. If you want to get to the ship's like a helm, this creature is fully distracted. They cannot attack you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the helm.
Perfect. The wheel is right here. The little guy, he's standing right there. Yeah,
right.
so as you sort of sprint for the front of it, it is difficult terrain for you in this moment, but dude, I mean, what's your strength anyhow?
Oh fuck. I gotta stop closing this thing every day.
I just make it smaller and put him in the top corner.
Yeah.
I just pop it out because I have 2 monitors.
Yeah, I
Oh,
keep
lucky
forgetting to do
you.
that. Yeah. But I want people
Yeah.
to see what the fuck this is. Total is the blue, right?
Total is the small number under the big one.
Yeah, 14.
14? That's not terrible. 14 strength is definitely good enough to like yank yourself forward by just some of the ropes. The moment that you're to this wheel, you see a lot is very different from what you're used to. Firstly, there are 2 wheels.
Oh
two-
shit.
There are 2 small wheels with like crank levers on the ends of them, and there are 6 individual levers.
What the fuck?
What kind of freak is supposed to pilot this?
You see, as you ask that question, this like Spriggan turns to you, and you watch as their legs at the bottom fray out into roots that begin to spread across the ship. Oh, do you not know how to pilot my ship?
Can I use my scimitar and just cut off one of those? With my fast reflexes.
Oh, hell yeah. Roll me an attack.
Can I give him help?
Oh, it's a guaranteed hit.
Damn.
As long as it's not at 1, you're a guaranteed hit.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll the damage. It's only 4 damage, but because you're cutting off a limb, that is doubled.
Hell yeah. Fuck him up, Ian.
Immediately, as it like frays out and begins to go for the levers to try and take some bit of control, you just sort of thunk. Immediately, you just watch pain wash over their face as they quickly just rip back into and just.
Yeah, I need you
they-
to stay put as I try to figure this out. You stay in the fucking corner.
They are really trying. You're actually Fitz. Ooh, you're the most arcanely inclined here. Hey, buddy,
Yeah.
can you go ahead and quickly roll me a? It's actually up to you what you roll here.
Okay.
But there is something wrong with them that you can't particularly understand. Now you can roll whatever you like: insight, investigation, arcana, whatever you think would work here, if you so choose.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go investigate, I suppose.
With an 18, there's a reason that, like, most of the time you shouldn't pay a Fey, but specifically this Spriggan especially, Spriggan of the Earth, of the, like, out in the woodlands, sort of a protector.
Mhm.
This silver, this sort of earth magic, essentially, this bit that they are covering themselves in, it is kind of dangerous. And not only that, but like they are very attracted to shiny things. And in this case, being imbued with it, they are finding themselves fully charmed by it. And I don't just mean like, oh, it's very interesting. They are physically being charmed just by the presence of this like silver on them.
Okay.
You feel at the very least like they are not in their right mind right now. They are not an evil person. They are being affected by something.
So we need to get the
insight
silver
real
away
quick.
from. Okay. I will roll an insight.
As someone who just attacked, you can have that with advantage.
Oh well.
Just roll it again.
Okay. This time with advantage. Boop.
With a nat 20, you feel like the easiest and quickest way would be to cut his arm off.
If you can relay that to me, I can do that.
Essentially, what you gain immediately, Fitz, is
Mhm.
I cut off his leg and it's not growing, or it's the piece of his leg and it's not growing back.
Mhm.
His arm has the silver. I should remove the arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I will relay to Arthur. Lob off the arm.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Beautiful. Fitz.
Yeah.
I'll let you do one more thing.
Okay.
So, and you can pick the skill here again. I would say either sleight of hand or performance.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to try something like an athletics or strength check. My question to you is, how the fuck do you pilot this machine to either like gain control or stop it? It is clearly built for someone with more limbs than you have, or
Right.
at least more flexibility and like hand-eye coordination.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how this machine works. You do see that each of the levers is moving fully independently.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean like, because these are meant to go up and down. They are moving in 360-degree motions.
Right.
They are like moving in their own like ball-jointed kind of way, like rowing themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think I might want to roll athletics on this.
All right.
Eesh.
I'm gonna use an adversity die.
Okay, so a D8.
Yeah.
Beautiful. A 10.
That's okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Fitz,
Yep.
I had to ask you, what does Fitz think this stuff does individually?
What the fuck? 1 second. I'm checking my adversity die.
You're
thing.
good.
I would think probably some of the stuff that's moving on its own, say like the levers. I would say that's maybe like the sail. One of these is for I don't know, rudder control.
Got it. I notice that you've mentioned nothing of the legs.
The legs, I don't know.
Fitz,
Yeah.
with the assumption of these are for the rudder and the sails and whatnot. I imagine the wheels are the only thing that Fitz would even think he knows what they do. of like, okay, one is for right and one is for left. None of this is the case. What does he grab for? There are 3 levers on either side of you, and there are 2 wheels ahead of you, along with like a main sort of ignition.
I'm gonna say he grabs one of the levers and maybe one of the wheels.
Got it. I'm gonna ask on the left or right. I'm just curious.
On the... We'll go on the right.
The lever on the left, or on the right, or the wheel on the right.
Wheel on the right,
Both.
lever on the left, sorry.
Okay. Everybody.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And Fitz.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, god damn it.
Fitz,
I'm sorry,
You-
dude.
grab the lever and sort of like pull it and spin the wheel, and you watch the sails sort of yank up into an aft position, and then you watch one of the legs throw itself out starboard as hard as it can, and the entire ship goes into a tailspin.
Hang on.
You watch as the front of the ship, with a like low droning throws entire like swaths of water, enough to sink small ships that you pass. A wave that would like a cascading wave that could easily like destroy a small house just throws 6 or 7 people under the water surface as the entire ship just yanks to the side, and you watch one of the legs fly off in spectacular fashion as the lever that you pulled flops to the floor, fully disconnected, with a stump of wood like scrambling, trying to walk.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, everybody has rolled their dexterity saves. Great. Okay, so Fitz, you succeed, and Rivali, you succeed. As you both, Fitz, I imagine, desperately trying to hold on to these controls.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Essentially, it's like if your boat suddenly went vertical, and you were having to hold on to the wheel to not just flop into the water. That's basically what has happened. Rivali, I imagine, Rivali could probably just spider climb to just stand sideways.
Yeah, Rivali is just doing that and just shaking his head like, Fitz, what the fuck, dude?
Arthur,
Uh-huh.
you are gonna take damage, not because you have fallen off the ship. As the ship sort of loses this control and everything flies away, your body yanks backward and you are held taut in place by the vines in your chest up until you hear a and your whole body just yanks off, and you hear a sickening tear as you see a chunk of your chest held in its hand with vines that are about 5 or 6 feet long dangling off.
Okay, how much damage?
I'm gonna roll easily 2d8. I would say even more than that. I heard a 2d10 here.
Mhm.
Only 7. Not terrible.
Only 7.
Yeah, you are undead. I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, like this is a normal Tuesday.
You're raw. You're sort of like
Your Tuesdays
your
are
body,
fucking
which
weird,
has
dude.
begun to rot, but has like sort of stopped in place.
Well, yeah,
you
well,
just-
I wouldn't say I'm rotting, more along the lines of I'm just
You're
there
sort of
is no
preserved.
life, but like it's like any blood you see is black, viscous, like kind of like
So-
tar.
You see sludge and flesh and what's left of one of your lungs just hanging there as he like holds it and turns it back to himself. And
I'm
you
not
watch as the sort of darkness slowly spreads down his hand and begins to cover him up as he looks it over.
Oh god damn it!
Curious.
You might
As
want to
he
let go
gains
of that.
resistance to necrotic.
Hmm?
As he
Oh,
gains resistance to necrotic.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Damn it.
Okay,
Uh,
at this point, can I go into one of my my corrupted rage?
Oh, I'm not done.
Oh,
But wait, there's more!
Buddy.
Yeah.
You essentially, what has happened again, like you're yanked, sort of held in this really fucking terrible riptide essentially of just air.
mhm.
Fitz,
Yeah.
what you see, because you're the only one who's still at the helm basically, is the water ahead of you become that wave, throw those people down, and then sort of stop midway, and then begin to come back towards you guys. You are fine and held in place. Arthur, you are slammed into by the force of a small sea as you are thrown back into the railing. Essentially a bit of a restart for you. Sort of half drowned in water. You see your wolf just like thunking around on the deck, sort of limping back into the pile of ropes, trying to keep safe. You can go ahead and try. You can go ahead and try if you like. Yeah, you can go ahead and try to like stop them or do whatever you wish to try.
First off, I'm going into a corruptory because now I'm pissed.
Okay.
Not the puppy.
That's it. And you just start hearing him like breathing heavily, angrily.
As you get like all angry, Fitz at Rivali at the very least, you guys do just hear idly. You just kind of idly hear from this fucking like kind of fucked up Spriggan, just sort of tip their head and go, "I like that dog." Anyway,
weird.
Just like fully not concerned with the fight. They don't seem to really be all there. Their understanding of what's going on is limited at best.
Okay. So
You have no idea about that, Arthur. You just know that they're pissing you off.
Yeah.
And they nearly killed your dog.
Not the
No
pupper.
touching the puppy.
Well, I'm going to. No, wait a minute. Actually, 1 minute. Let me just check.
Blast.
Blast.
I'm going to use. Do I have full
Boy,
actions?
right.
Damien,
You
what
have
are you
what?
doing?
I mixed alcohol with Monster.
Oh,
no.
God.
Gotta have mercy
Anywho.
on your soul.
I have like my bonus
That's
action
good.
and full like a main action, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to use this on my bonus action,
Oh, you're definitely right back in front of them.
and then I'm going to fucking slash at their arm with the silvered arm.
Go ahead and roll an attack to begin here.
Attack.
Whatever attack you choose. As long as it involves your sword. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead and roll that damage. Can you also roll me a d20? This is to see how effective this is. Or really just a strength check.
Strength check.
Yeah. With a strength check of 16 and a damage of 20. So immediately you watch your sword sink deep into their arm and just sort of like narrowly avoid fully slicing it off, but you see a deep pain register on their face, along with a like true and genuine fear that does not look indicative of someone who would have just attacked you.
Yeah, I look at Arthur. Just looks at them, and all the Spriggan can hear is a snarl.
That's not very nice for someone who's taking you to your destination. As they are going to attempt to sort of like rebuff you. You do not manage to cut the entire way through, though you do fuck them up. Pretty immediately you watch them sort of go from like, oh, I'm at pretty much full health to I am at half health and dying. I am going to die now. There is only a matter of when. And in fact, where the fuck? Why did I write Plimbo? When did I write
Because
the
you're a
word
fucking
Plimbo?
weirdo.
Yeah.
You literally mentioned doing that last time.
Yep.
It wasn't last. It was the Yuletide Terror and Frosty the Titan, and then the word Plimbo.
Yep. Limbo, I'm sure, has been in there for a minute because I feel like I remember you talking about this at least a couple of months ago.
I'm so sorry. I'm so stupid.
Nah, dude, you're fine. You're fine. You've got more brain cells than I do.
Barely. Barely. Perfection. So, in this specific instance, they are going to sort of like, as Wesley is going to grab, like not even grab at you, but trying to like shove you away. they take the full amount of damage. And seeing you like growl at them, they do sort of gain this sort of fear reaction of I need to get away from you as quickly as possible. And as a matter of fact, I think they actually have a spell for this.
Question real quick.
What's up?
As they take a step back, because I'm still within 5 feet of them, do I get an attack of opportunity?
They are still within 5 feet of you. So, unfortunately not. They're not leaving your attack range.
Bastard.
They are going to... Ooh, they have 2 options here, and I'm trying to see what they decide to do. I think they're going to use Tree Stride here. So you watch as they sort of like with fear just sort of and they press their hand directly to one of these like essentially this ship is mostly made of like untreated logs. They're a Spriggan, that makes some sense. And you watch as they immediately like emerge at the like mast of the ship, sort of like stepping out of the mast, sort of like, oh no. And then sort of as they step out, you see their arm begin to like crack and sort of fail on them as it's beginning to maybe like rip away. Definitely only hanging on there by a thread at best. They are not sort of they're leaving through magical means. Rivali and Arthur, you guys do not get an attack of opportunity, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
As they just sort of disappear into the wood. I will say in this moment, Fitz, I will turn back to you for a second, in fact. Because no matter what is happening, you are, again, trying to get this thing to stop, and it is going to hit another buffet of water, which, again, quickly hits this sort of solid wall in front of them that it just sort of smashes through. You see that crack spread wider. Not only that, it's going from like one big crack. It has reached midway down the mast to about here. And Rivali and Arthur, you two are split from each other by a massive jet of water that is beginning to spew through the ship.
Ah, fucking wonderful.
You can just sort of hear the ship itself, in fact, sort of in pain.
The ship is a whale?
Basically. Yeah, actually, kind of. The ship is just, yeah, it's like it's a semi-aquatic being with some sort of sentience.
Holy shit, whale.
Okay.
Yeah, you watch essentially, more damage kind of run through it. And it takes 19 points of damage straight to the hull,
Ow.
which is, it's at
Not
less
good.
than half of its health on the bow, at least. You watch these protective water skiffs begin to crack away, which are basically the only thing keeping you guys sort of kind of, in this moment, you are like, what's the damn word? They were very popular in the 50s. You're hydroplaning. You're sort of like hydroplaning on top of, well, no, it's I don't think it's called hydroplane, but it's a hydrofoil. You're like hydrofoiling on top of the water. And this is not helping because your essential hydrofoil is ripping away bit by bit.
Got it.
The ship itself kind of sits on top of it. And yeah, that is your knowledge of the situation, Fitz, and I will allow you to quickly roll either a strength, sleight of hand, or dex. Again, whatever you choose here, to try and again kind of gain some control.
Okay. Random question, completely unrelated to everything.
Yeah.
The size of this floating boat in my inventory, does that kind of replicate like a big
It
ship?
is. It's not a big ship. No, it's like a single person, like a rowboat.
Like a dinghy.
Or...
This
Okay.
is like a survival situation, boat made of leather with a couple of planks that hold it sturdy.
Okay.
Native Americans used them essentially. Again, yeah, it's like you stick a plank of wood in it, and it makes it solid enough to sit in.
Okay.
Yeah, this is that's a survival situation. I'm gonna die without you, boat.
Dicks. Alright, well,
It does have water breathing on it though, which
neat.
why'd you roll a stealth check?
Fuck, I thought I hit... I don't know. I meant to hit sleight of hand.
It's fine.
You know what? No. Fuck. Another adversity die. Shit.
Okay. Rolling a d8. I pray for an 8.
Oh.
Actually, 13's good enough to do something positive.
Okay.
Fitz.
Yeah.
So your awareness is this one wheel really is only changing the position of the where the sails are, like on the mast. Fiddling with the other one though, that one is directional.
Okay.
The other one does begin to like turn the ship this way or that, and you do come to understand that at least, like, again, that one lever controlled the leg. There's some understanding that perhaps they all control a leg or something regarding that, which means more than likely the rudder and the sails are both connected in some way for steering.
Okay.
With that, I'll say that you can gain some amount of control to like either slow it down or speed it up further.
I'm gonna probably slow us down on the off
Gotcha.
chance, yeah, because if we go any faster, I'm sure we're gonna hit another block of, quite literal block of water.
It's like if the water threw itself in the air and then froze in time for a brief moment.
Yeah,
And
no.
that's not helpful.
Yeah, no, I need to slow us down before I break this thing a fucking sunder.
Fantastic. I will say then in this moment, really throwing down the sails, like making them fully like ready to go, is the slowest thing you can do, as these legs are trying to sort of throw themselves and run forward. The sails are working like an air brake and keeping you sort of held in place a little bit more.
Right.
Rivali, I imagine in this case especially, you stumble forward a little bit as the ship very suddenly loses like 30 miles per hour of speed.
Uh-huh.
It's going from like really fast, that's just like boom, 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 boom. Wait. It's like Fitz training a dog.
No, wait, I got a thing.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I almost had it. Gotta be quicker than that.
Oh, you gotta be quicker than that.
Rivali.
It's me trying to train my
Yeah.
fucking bird.
We'll move on to you as Fitz. Yeah, you slow it down just in time to not like crash through the water, but it actually like flares up.
Mhm.
The ship's mast hits it, and then it falls down over you guys in such a way that it does not cause damage.
Oh, shit. We survived. Hell yeah.
Rivali,
Yes.
what do you do as this Spriggan has moved back to the mast? They are clearly still doing stuff, and in fact, you see that their like sort of tendrils spreading out from their legs are moving back toward your unconscious friends. As someone who was recently made unconscious by a specific Fey, I will ask if there is any thoughts perhaps going through Rivali's head in this moment.
First and foremost, ow, my head hurts. Second of all, fuck this.
That is super fair and quite reasonable.
Fuck. Should I help with the guy or should I go save our friends? I'll probably go save our friends.
The
I
guy
feel
is-
if
the
you
guy
tear
is over
off
with
the
your
arm,
friends.
you'll end up doing both, but I cannot be for certain.
Yeah, fuck. Could I see if maybe his arm looks like it's falling off enough to be shot off?
It is sort of coming down to a point where it's beginning to dangle. He still has control of it, but it's like held on by maybe a branch worth of like wood. The silver is yet to reach it.
Okay. Since you said it was the mast that fell over us, or something fell over us?
What? No, just water. Like that's what I was saying.
Oh.
Water just sort of flew over the top of it. He stepped out of the mast.
I thought you were saying something was like falling over us and was hiding us, because I was gonna ask if I could get a sneak attack.
What the fuck? No. Linda, listen to me.
I would like to try and shoot off the arm. Or,
Okay.
actually, fuck it. I don't know if it'd be better, if it would be easier just to run up and like try and smack it off with my
What
quarterstaff.
would Rivali do in a split-second decision?
Rivali would probably say fuck the gun and just try and whack it off of him.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, Rivali's
You're gonna whack off a Spriggan, gotcha.
Shut up.
Same brain cell.
Hell yeah.
Oh, roll damage.
Hell yeah.
Roll damage a second time, because that is a crit. Not a nat 20, but a 19 on this, especially on this one. Yeah, that's a crit. Rivali,
Yeah,
his arm's gone.
Woo!
nice.
He's gonna roll a thing, and I'll actually roll it publicly on here, just so that we can see for ourselves. As his arm is ripped off, he needs to roll 2 things. One of them is a Constitution save, because holy shit, he is actually no, a Wisdom save.
Good
Actually.
night.
Oh, thank God. He does not pass out.
Damn it.
He's gonna roll an Arcana check as well. He doesn't know what just happened. Rivali, you watch as his arm flies off. Immediately, this sort of like silvered haze over his eyes goes away. And he's like, what happened? I feel terrible. And then he goes to like wipe his face and can't. And just like, what? Absolutely losing his mind.
Proceeds to die.
Okay, buddy. Listen. I can explain.
He faints.
Oh.
Fuck.
He just doesn't die. He's not on death saves yet anyway. He's just like you watch on the ground, Rivali.
Uh-huh.
The silver melts away back into a single coin, and you see his arm, a piece of it, one of his, like, a piece in his palm, a bit of darkwood, stays there as the rest falls away into vines. It looks as if it's been implanted into him, perhaps, maybe recently.
I am not very good with Arcana, so I'm not going to touch that.
Gotcha. As he fully faints and just flops face first into the deck. His head sounds like a block of wood hitting a block of wood. Just like... It looks kind of like you dribbled a basketball really badly.
Ah, so oof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a huge ooh. It's a where is it?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully fucked up. The ship is still fully out of control, Rivali.
Mm-hmm.
Fitz managed to get it to slow down. There is a lack of control here that is not only concerning, it is becoming quite scary, given the fact that, like, as you guys are getting, like, toward the midway, nearing, like, land, it's not just that, like, the waters are, like, quite calm. It's that they are so calm, there's, like, not enough wind for anything, which means that in this moment, the sails being down don't really matter as it begins to sort of, like, try and pick up speed again. Which it's starting to do. And without the hydrofoil making much difference, it is kind of running on the water. Which, without one leg, makes it very precariously dangerous for you guys.
Fitz, what the fuck?
I don't know how to work these fucking controls!
Arthur, you watch as Rivali sort of just rips this thing's arm off. As like Wesley's just like, poof.
You just hear Arthur just like, and just like howls.
Fair enough.
I understand, buddy. Don't kill him, please.
And I guess, is it my turn?
Yes.
I look over
out of any combat.
Okay. The boat is still falling asunder, correct?
The boat is beginning to break, or it has begun to break. It's already begun to break in half, but like it's still solid. You feel like it's not going to break in half anytime soon, especially if it doesn't do anything crazy, like eccentric.
Do you want to try and help figure out the ship while I kind of make sure everybody's strapped down and doesn't go flying off?
I was going to say that would probably be. Okay. Actually,
real quick.
Actually, no. Actually, would I be able to use perception to help figure out what's going on?
More of an investigator insight here.
Or Vescar
Is that what
inside.
you need then?
Yeah, no, let me deal with the people.
Okay, yeah. I will go to help Fitz with the ship.
I zoom
One
off to
sec.
go and help
Okay.
everyone else.
So, as Luke finally pulls himself up to the top, you guys actually see one of his hands looks like crushed and is bleeding. I kept the rudder working. It shattered twice. That's fine. As he points at you, Fitz. He points at you, Fitz, and does like a finger gun, and you gain bardic inspiration.
Okay.
As you also gain, you can also add his proficiency bonus to your next roll, which means bardic inspiration and a +4 to any of your next rolls.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Thanks,
So
big boy.
yeah, like he comes up onto the top deck and then just sort of like hunkers down, sort of down on his like laying down, leaned back against the railing on the back of the ship. I'm just going to take a nap.
Don't fall asleep.
Yeah, Revel, you see him bleeding like profusely.
Yeah.
And
Do not
Fitz,
fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
this is on to you with the help of Arthur.
Cool. All right.
Arthur, how are you helping? What are you up to? What are you doing?
Oh, Rivali was going to go help, and I'm
Oh, right.
gathering all the unconscious people.
Right, Rivali, what are you doing now? Like, what are you gonna try and see or try to do?
I wanted to roll insight and see if I could kind of help him figure out the controls.
Got it, go for it.
Right, and I get advantage on these. I got a
Nice.
19.
Cool.
Beautiful. With a 19 Rivali, the levers are definitely for the legs.
Okay, Fitz. Levers are legs. Wheels, probably direction.
Yeah, I noticed the levers were probably legs after one of the legs came off, and that went limp.
Rivali.
Yes.
That said, you only know, like, there's 5 of those levers left. You know there's 6 legs on this machine. You don't know if all of these levers are legs. Now, your understanding, though, here is, and I am sort of, like, rolling off of what would your natural be here, which is more of, like, a 12, with the advantage of the 19. But your understanding is limited here. Now, you can try and do something practical and, like, grab on, try and physically help Fitz here, if you so choose. Given it's a coordinated effort, the help action would be sort of diminished to just be standard, like a flat roll for both of you. Which would be strength from you, Rivali, and either dex or sleight of hand for Fitz, or performance.
So, Fitz, do you want me to physically help you, or do you want me to emotional support?
Physical would be nice. A couple of
Okay,
extra
yeah.
hands.
Yep, I got you. And a tail. I also have a tail, so.
So yeah,
Semantics.
Rivali, your ability here, Rivali, best thing you can do is to help him with, like, the leg controls.
Okay.
So you can roll me a strength check for that.
Alrighty. 1 second.
As long as this is above a 10, we're set.
I hate when you do that.
I don't know why. Fitz,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and roll me any of those rolls that you so choose, as long as they, pertain to this piloting skill, basically.
I'm gonna do performance.
Sweet.
Woo!
Oh,
yes!
Let's go.
Alright,
Okay.
Bullshit. your
Rivali and
way.
Fitz, back together.
Rivali,
Yeah.
full control of the legs. Full control.
Hell yeah.
You realize quite quickly that 2 of these levers are redundant, and one of those has been destroyed. Essentially, there's a lever for each set of legs,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, there's a set of levers that controls 2 legs at once. So you don't actually need that one lever, which means you only have 4 that you need to use.
Okay.
And it's actually in that moment of realization that you are able to pretty quickly gain a pretty full control over this thing. Making a sort of rowing motion makes each one walk, and sort of yanking back against it stops those stops the running in its tracks. And Fitz with... Go ahead, reply.
Oh, I was just saying, okay, got it.
Fitz, with a performance of 26, what do you wish to do right now? Do you just want to gain control or fully stop it?
I want to just gain control of this. You know,
Yeah,
just
tell me.
Yeah.
You figure it out immediately. You're like, okay, this one lever is for the control of sails and for bidirectional turning, which is like, up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
You do actually realize there is some capability of the ship to sort of dive down a little bit and then sort of like shoot up above the water. Sort of, again, like a sort of skiff. And then the other one is just straight up, I can turn the sails and the rudder at the same time. You notice how the legs are working, and with your captaining skill, you can tell Rivali exactly what you want done.
Okay.
And I leave this to you.
Okay.
What do you decide to do?
Okay, can I take the ship down for like doing that like skiv dip that you were talking about, and then have like jump up and then? How close are we to port? Are we like nowhere close, or like?
You're pretty far off, but it is the Fey Wilds, so distance doesn't really mean much here.
Because I was gonna do like this fucking Tokyo drift, kind of like make the boat just like do a drift.
You can attempt to, and we can see what happens. You have an at 20, so it's not going to go bad.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take it down for a dip, and as it comes back up, get a little bit of airtime. As it crashes back down, we drift. To the left.
Okay.
And we just go from there.
Beautiful. I will relay as this goes. So, Rivali,
Uh-huh.
you get direction from Fitz, essentially, to flatten the legs, make them, like, flush with the ship, as you are suddenly underwater.
Holy shit.
Um,
Rivali's like, you got it. Blech.
all of you are underwater. Water that doesn't feel quite like water. Water that's sort of grabbing at you.
Not again, not again.
Shit.
Water that is going to, in fact, not do damage. But I need to check something from all of you.
Rivali internally screaming. Not again, not again.
There's already a mistake.
It's cool, though.
Beautiful.
Rule of cool dictates we live.
Yeah.
So every character will lose 5 gold here.
Okay.
5 gold, motherfucker.
As the actual, like, water itself, sort of like, grabbing at you. Price for a visit, price for a stay. Gold we keep to your last day.
We just got robbed by the fucking ocean.
Okay.
Because you actually watch like 15 little water nymphs swim away from around all of you, sort of giggling to themselves, as you watch their hands grab at the side of the ship and push it up with a little bit of extra force.
Question. I don't have any money.
You're right, you don't, which is why I need to check yours for something special.
Uh-oh. You're getting double robbed.
No, you're not. In this specific case, Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
you watch as from like within your inventory, you can actually feel it leaving you as the sprig of lavender is taken.
Can I roll a reaction to, like, get that back?
You can certainly try.
Hey, Damien.
What's up?
You can access my my tech journal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to take a look at what I just wrote in there.
Oh God.
On this day, I was robbed by the ocean.
I would like to roll a strength check to, like, grab it.
Go ahead and roll a strength check. With
I have
disadvantage because you're fighting the ocean.
I have advantage because of my rage.
So a flat roll.
A flat roll.
Okay. That hits the DC exactly. I'll say in this moment especially.
Actually,
You
no, wait,
grab
that's a crit for me.
That is a crit for you. Which is why so yeah, you grab it back, sort of like, it's that moment of like, you're in a rage. Ooh, roll me a constitution.
Constitution?
Or
Save?
really, actually, I need to see what you could even roll here. I'm trying to think here. Fuck. Charisma save or intelligence save, actually?
Charisma or intelligence? Oh, intelligence.
You are in a like true rage right now in this moment. Especially given that it's something important to you being stolen away.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur,
Yeah?
you feel yourself sort of going a little further. And you're just like, I need it, I need it, I need it, I need it. And
Need it.
grabbing it, you feel their like hand, this sort of like gentle hand of water, sort of cupping it, kind of treasuring it. And your hand just sort of grabs around both of them and crush, yanks it back. It is just twigs and like bits of the flower in your hands are crunched in. As you pull it back, it's just like, it's mine. And you
Yeah.
watch a nymph, as their like hands are crushed, sort of weep and disappear into the water.
Yeah. May I know, I grabbed this with the bandaged up arm.
Gotcha.
It,
Yeah, it's very fucked up. It's just
can
this
I
moment,
also
like,
roll damage for that?
Sure.
Rude.
As in, I take damage because, well, lavender is usually a good thing to ward off death.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
So it's
Oh.
radiant.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'll say that would be probably just 2d8 in this moment. D8 seems pretty reasonable for it, given that it's like I'm not gonna make you weak to the specific damage.
Oh
this
no, I
moment.
am. I'm in a rage. I intend for that.
Go for it then. 2d8. Take 24 damage
Shit.
Jesus.
as you yank back the lavender with your bandage hand. And yeah, this nymph, and in fact, as these nymphs are all sort of helping you, you feel this Fey bestow something upon you in her like final moments of seeing you that does not feel good.
Uh-huh.
Though what it is, you're unsure.
Fakers.
And yeah, as you like again, like fuck this, I've got it, I'm fine. It burns. Fitz.
Yeah.
The ship sinks below the water. Nymphs grab at you and sort of like help you as well as you feel the water that you're about to breathe in, as this ship is going far longer than you expected underwater, about a minute.
Uh-huh.
As that water that's like turns to air and you're able to breathe. As they sort of like help you along. Your fainted friends are all tied down with the help of these little Fey, as they take 5 gold from everyone. They try to do so to Luke, and Luke just shoots one of them in the chest. They say no. They pretty quickly just say, never mind. As he
Fair.
just grabs the railing and just like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah, no, I'd probably do the same thing in that situation.
He just casts water breathing. Fuck you. And you finally hear that, like, the ripples above become something of like a resurface as you watch the top of the mast about 50 feet above breach the water,
Mhm.
and then slowly, and then all of a sudden, very quickly, as you are thudding against the top of the water, and then in this attempt to drift it, Rivali,
Yeah.
yanking like one set of these legs to like kick out as hard as they can, the entire ship drifts sideways as hard, and then as it hits the water, skids, and everything. As Fitz, you pretty quickly realize there is no understanding of depth here.
Mhm.
There's an understanding of distance here. And in that speed and in this effort of like, we're going to do it, we're going to get to port as quick as possible, and we're going to stop before we get there, or at least try and get safe.
Mhm.
It's thunk, 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 boom, as the legs hit land. And full sort of speed in this attempt to skid to a stop. It goes from, okay, to, and all of the legs just crunch and pull and twist off, and then the entire ship is thrown into a roll. With a nat 20 Fitz,
Yeah.
you are able to easily survive this. How, like, with a 26 performance, you can get off this ship, you can just, like, hit the deck. What do you decide to do in this moment?
So we're all pretty much not necessarily in a tailspin, but
This ship, it was in a
Barrel
controlled landing. It was good.
Mhm.
And then as the legs hit land, they snapped like pencils.
Okay.
And you went from controlled to a barrel roll.
Do barrel.
This creature is alive, and all of a sudden it wishes it wasn't.
I'm gonna barrel roll.
It is awful.
Oh,
Revalius.
no.
I'm gonna
As they're under the
aileron.
water, Revalius just thinking, we all live in a yellow submarine.
The nymph singing along with you, just like. Ah, we all live in a yellow submarine.
God damn it.
The fantasy Beatles.
Oh, Lord.
We get Paul McCartney here.
Oh, man.
This is where he ended.
This is where Paul McCartney is. Woo! And John Lennon.
Oh.
Oh no.
Don't cry for me,
Sing
Johnny
you,
boy.
But we won't.
Also, laughing, you are still kind of quiet.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
just
Yeah, you're
fucking
super
dipped.
quiet.
Like, you were fine,
there-
and now you
Oh,
just,
there
like...
we go.
Yeah?
No, I have you at 200 and you're still kind of quiet.
Am I still quiet now?
You're about
significantly
about
better,
average.
but-
Yeah, except at 200, that shouldn't be average.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, Fitz, what
Yeah,
do
no,
you decide to do, buddy?
I'm sorry.
So, since we're in a spin, Can I grab Revali and just, like, brace, I suppose?
Oh, yeah, if you want to just brace with that performance check, you can absolutely brace. Yeah, Revali's right there with you at the controls. Yeah, so I'll actually say in this case then, you don't even have to just brace. These wheels themselves that you're sort of using to spin and turn,
Mm-hmm.
they're made of brass. You can grab onto one of those. It's not going to snap. Using that for some sort of anchorage.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll grab that.
Yeah, and with that and like with a leg or another arm interlocking in the wood of the ship, you cannot fly off. And in fact, you won't take damage from this spin.
Okay.
So yeah, in this moment of just like, shit's fucked, I can't get the others, they're tied down, they're probably okay. Arthur, you were actually tied down as well, even though that was not the intent. Although you do notice that one of the ropes was put around your neck, probably by the person who you made an enemy of.
Probably.
But as the ship begins to do a landing so uncontrolled that were it a plane, it would disintegrate on impact.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
That is the description I can give. As what I would describe here is there is a beautiful forest, there's a beautiful beach, it's made of like pink sands, there are like little crab-like creatures that are actually singing on the seashore.
Under the sea.
You see the little portcullis keys have opened to some degree. It seems like maybe people in Silver are listening to their homelands for the first time in a very long time. And then
We come and ruin it.
about 80 tons of wood and ocean and rock and a ton of nymphs kill all those people.
Oh, no, not Jeremy.
As it's not even the crabs. The crabs are fine because the water doesn't hurt them.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
you are in a massive ship going this hard and this fast with like skewers of wood that just flew off in every direction. Those portcullis portals go from like, wow, it's so cool, and then it's a bloodbath.
Oh, no.
There's like, essentially Silver, they just go, oh my word, is that a monsoon? I haven't. And the ship just rolls over the few of them that try to run through. Like, there are bodies, there is blood, there was a forest, and now you're about half a mile into it as it's just boom, 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 boom. And with that infinite sort of roll, you watch as bits of the ship go flying everywhere. The mast is gone. It is skewered through one of the portals in such a way that probably about 20 people are dead.
That's a hell of a shish kebab.
Rocks have flown through. The water is actually seeping into the portals and probably flooding buildings on the other side. half of the
This is a nat
ship.
20. This was supposed to be good.
He chose to use his performance to survive. This is the good ending. You don't want to know what would have happened. The chance of like a good end on this with you all being awake was so astronomically low. It was a DC 25.
Jesus.
I didn't know that your performance was a 26 at a fucking nat 20. I was expecting failure at any level. Okay? So we're all fucked. But yeah, with that nat 20, buddy, as it finally like crunches over, going away from the fucking trees and finally just bam, it smashes into crystal. The ship skewered and stopped in place finally. You are just sort of hit in this moment of like undamaged somehow, unhurt. The amount of casualties is probably under 100. The portals do not close, by the way.
Oh no.
Because again, these are mostly Fey. You actually hear quite a few of them go, Margaret, she was 8,000. She died too young. Well, anyway. As they just sort of close the portals, they're like, a funeral it is. A bunch of the crabs look fine, kind of unburdened by it. You can barely see them or hear this, as they are now a mile away. This ship has disintegrated on impact. All that there is left is the top deck and most of the like areas that you guys were standing on. The bit where Luke was, he is now hanging on by the rope they tied him there to. He is fucked up.
He's still alive though. He's fine.
He's like bloodied. His mask is dented and crunched into his face. And you guys are alive and somehow, who the fuck knows how, not damaged to the point of being passed out. As we move from this elegant journey with the walking ship, because some fucker had to give the guy the shilling.
Damn it, Arthur.
To the shoreline, which in fact, one second, because I need to see if this works. Yeah, beautiful. You hit the shoreline of where you're kind of heading, of the Mithridian. Having moved, in fact, you even realize you've sort of like moved down the river to some degree. Having all that water flying up around you was pretty impossible to tell. As you pass through Lake Murloc and somebody is eating plastic.
Yeah.
And finally, as you thunk into that crystal, you find yourself in the Mithridian.
Nice.
Ooh, lovely.
Nice.
Those were not ruins when you got here. I'm joking.
I was about to say,
However, this path, part of this path is like crunched in by your ship. As these beautiful mushrooms sort of greet you, and you see the floating archways of the temples of the Mithridian. So you find yourself somewhere finally safe. It really is a question of if it's safe anywhere.
Yeah.
Because holy shit.
Yeah. Can I just kind of like slowly kind of like get up and just kind of look around and just well, land ho.
And with that, I'm going to intercut to Rune. Hey, Rune. Jackson,
Yes.
buddy.
Yes.
As Rune does not find himself in the Fey Wild any longer.
Okay.
Rune.
Oh,
In
yeah.
fact,
Yeah, that's right.
I swear to God, if I'm in the Shadowfell, I will punch everything till I get to the surface.
Shadow
You're
Realm,
not.
I'm sending you to Memphis, Tennessee.
Did somebody
That is
say the
correct.
Shadow Realm?
Did somebody say Memphis?
No, you're getting sent to Ohio.
Oh no, not Ohio.
Rune.
Anywhere but
You-
Idaho.
You recall as the fight ended last time, as you were beginning to like help, and you actually saw Fitz's spirit like step out of his body almost. Fitz, by the way, those like checks you made are the only reason that you were able to continue to possess your body. They were never below a 5. But Rune,
Okay, cool.
you find yourself in a place, as again, your memory starts to come to you, and you realize, like, after you saw it all happen, a bolt of lightning struck through you. And with a sort of momentary lapse, you were summoned by your god, or perhaps by a god, more like. As Rune, you find yourself standing in a massive temple. In fact, here you go. Statues of old dragons, long forgotten, stand tall at the edges of the stairway up. As you are greeted by a glowing gilded light that is not golden to the degree of like wealth, but more just sunlight. More pale, more pure. Rune. Jackson, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm trying to make sure you
I'm
die
alive.
sometimes.
I'm alive, I swear.
Better be.
I'm just leaning back in my chair too far.
You're okay, I'm sorry.
Do not perish.
Oh god, 1 second. Roll me a religion check, actually, as you see this stairwell and this beautiful stonework and temple ahead of you.
The power of religion.
I only watch Dragon Ball. Who this?
And roll me a religion for Rick as well. He was anointed by a Stillabor. I had 2 religion checks from Rune.
Yeah, roll that religma.
That's 1. And this is dose.
Okay, so Rick doesn't get it even Rick gets it even less than Rune does. Rune.
You're both befuddled.
Only watch Dragon Ball. Who this?
Rune, you are not in the home of a Stillabor. You know that. Rick looks around with a big sort of like, you can't even see a smile, but you can hear it. I'm just like, man, I like this place. I think we could really shack up here, man. We could call it home. Like, whoever the god here is, I mean, you're the guy who gave me life, so they're a little bitch compared to you to me.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm gonna put a finger over his mouth. Question
You
mark?
give life, and thus you taketh away. You are my god, Rune.
I'm gonna
Oh.
put a finger over one of his mouth where his mouth should be? Question mark.
You can just cover the googly eyes and he loses sentience.
That's not how that works. I don't think.
Just cover one of the
It's
eyes.
not, but he can't see, so he's just like, bedtime. He has no understanding of where he is at any point in time. If he can't see, he can't understand. But no, he's like, you are my god, and thus I must worship.
Hush,
Hmm.
hush, little stone.
Okay. He just shuts up immediately. Rune, well, you actually roll me history as well.
Hush, Tidy Rock.
History. Would this
Yeah.
be with advantage?
I'll allow it.
Hell yeah. Watch this be bad or decent on both.
It's
accounts.
fine.
Yeah.
Decent, yeah.
Rune, with a 16, you recall that you were channeling the Primordial during the fight. The stonework here is very old in a way that is not indicative of like modern societies, not even ancient societies that you're aware of. It's just sort of plain in a really elegant way. And given there's not even a hint of dust here, there's not a hint of like damage here. These old stone statues look like they were carved yesterday. There are priests walking around with like these big, beautiful, ornate helmets of dragon bone. This is the temple of the Primordial, somewhere in the heavens. You've been summoned. Plucked from your world, you are in the heavens.
I swear if I died again. As Rune is gonna start going up the steps.
But how can a god die? For if they are truly a good god, they must be alive at all.
Hush, stone.
Okay,
Ooh.
I read the Bible once.
You mean the Bible?
Yeah, that thing from Aqua
Air
Teen.
question the Lord of the Mighty Jimmy.
It was
Jimbo,
called
I'm
Vigil.
gonna brain blast. It is foretold to the scriptures.
I do recall the scriptures. They did foretell of Moses splitting the Red Sea, and thus I would see the red in my enemy's eyes.
Oh.
Is this stone okay?
No.
Send this
no.
bitch to therapy.
Actually, Rune, you do notice though that Rick is channeling, without his consent, or without his ability to stop it, his body, sort of imbued with magic, is kind of forced to just channel this arcana of this religion at all times. He is literally being imbued with scripture the entire time he's here. He will come away from this enlightened. I'm not joking. He gets advantage on religion checks after this.
You and me as well.
Bring knowledge to the stone.
It's very funny that Rune is not as talented as a rock when it comes to religion.
Damn.
As Rune, like the further he gets up the steps,
Yeah.
kind of the bit more serious his expression gets. I guess, like just
Fair
more,
enough.
But just like he doesn't really know what to expect, and like despite the fact he's at full health and like with temporary hit points, he's kind of exhausted.
That is super fair.
He's like
And-
I only have like 2 spells left.
I'll actually say add a level of exhaustion in this case, which really just means disadvantage on like attacks and saving throws. Because you've been going all day. You fought a demon and a fey and a whole team of people. It went for hours. You barely survived. Everybody barely survived.
Watch your friends die.
Your friends died. Yeah, I mean, you watched like this guy you barely met, Rivali. His skull was caved in, and then Fitz was cut in half in front of you. You are
Fitz
I
definitely.
saved that motherfucking body though.
You did. and
Yeah.
Still, that's a level of exhaustion, baby. You step up through. There are priests around. There are people around. Like, it seems some of the like worshippers of this creature have sort of found themselves in their heaven finally. Probably a lot of lost souls that are finally finding their way home. And you even see these priests look very confused, even like they don't really know how to react here. They would have only had at most a month to deal with all of this, of suddenly existing again. And so you can even see nearby, like a few humans have showed up, even people who worship the Primordial, a couple of like old death cults who kind of were very misled. A lot of people who are being just sort of moved to the side and told, "My children, you must need as much help as we can provide. I assure you, you will be safe here. Please, let us show you to your final place of rest and respite." As they sort of turn and willowingly like float off with these people following them.
Is anyone even reacting to my presence at all?
They seem to be expecting you.
Guest of
I
honor.
I partially don't like this, but we'll
You're
see.
actually glanced at by this sort of like head priest who just gives a sort of like smile and a bit of a chuff, just like. So, the gold being who tried to fell our Lord, now being brought here by our Lord's demand. A strange time this is. Strange time indeed.
The only reason I tolerate this insult at the moment is purely out of necessity. And because there are, well, as a friend would have said, larger fish to boil.
I believe, my dear child, it's larger fish, it's bigger fish to fry. But that's hardly the point. Call it insult if you wish, as he like pulls off these really nice ruby glasses that have been like carved down to like be readable. Pulls them off, sort of folds them up. Call it insult if you wish, but Pantheon as you know it was created by this creature, as you call him, this insult. continued existence of most of the world relies on the primordials, on those that created. And while you may not understand it, you understand the rule of law and the rule of order. You must understand at some point, this creature, this primordial, the one we worship, the one we call God, the first of our gods, they are true order. They don't seek wealth or understanding of a world further than the world that they know has been created. They aren't trying to get the knowledge of the world. They are trying to protect the world and preserve what must live. You and
Rune
me,
Rune is
nature.
gonna just ignore him and just like literally just like brush him aside as he's gonna continue up the steps. He just does not want to hear it.
A sort of sad sigh. Just, to be young. May the light bless you. As they give a nod, you see them put their spectacles back on and a headdress kind of reappears out of light. You see them turn and sort of pull another family aside. Please allow me to show you for your final respite. This way. As they sort of move off into the air. And you actually watch them walk through doorways of golden light.
Rune just kind of scoffs to himself. Little does that fool know that I have the accumulated experience of 2 lifetimes.
And yet, he knows nothing. Rune. Ahead of you is a massive hall leading infinitely forward into this vast, beautiful light. And I will even say, as much as you definitely don't like the Primordial, it is truly beautiful. It's one of those things of like, if a heartless person could see unimaginable beauty, would they shed a tear? It's one of those moments of like, this is the creation of the world that you're looking at. You are sort of looking at the Big Bang, paused in a single moment in history. And that's what you're walking toward.
Is there like a big gate?
It's not.
Sort of
It's
a door?
open.
It's
It's a
open?
huge open gateway with like a beautiful archway and moats of light. There's torches here around all these statues of dragons. One of which, Rune, has your family crest on it.
Insights.
Insight?
Insight.
Go for it. What are you trying to intuit here?
Why is this here?
Go for it. With an insight of 21, you see etchings and scratchings of your family history the entire way through. And in fact, you see some of your like family friends' crests. You see further down, even the Adamantine Dragon's family crest. These are the crests of draconic families, the kin of the Primordial. These are sort of direct lines of like, this is your history and where you're going and where the world will go eventually. But it's really just written in sort of vague prophecy, showing the history of lives as they go ahead. And in fact, the most recent moment that it shows on yours is you standing in front of a massive, beautiful gilded dragon statue. And it's in that moment of like, oh, it's not gilded here, that you look up and it is gilded. Gold spouts from the nose the whole way down over this like beautiful statue. As it even does write in the bottom of it, in Astilabor's honor, for the family patriarch, Rune Highscale Brightpaz.
Rune will do a little, just do a little prayer.
You feel a glimmer of Astilabor's light, even in this place, where like this creature again does not respect her sort of godhood, especially how she achieved it, but respects your wish to worship her.
Freedom of religion.
An understanding that is strange coming from how you saw him back in your homeland, especially in the destruction of her pillar.
Rune will kind of quick turn when he's done praying, as like a golden. His manifests his echo as armor again, but this time it's gonna be more so as like a regal kind of like ceremonial style armor with like a long draped like golden flowing cape. That's
The
like
best-
fiery towards the end. Like
You're
it starts as a
definitely
cape and then
able.
ends in golden fire.
You're definitely able, especially to get this to look like this beautiful gilded armor and whatnot. The cape and like the pauldrons are the best. Like that, Astillebor's light, what she has bestowed or been able to, is very little here. Even in like the Fey Wilds, worse, but here she gets just a glimmer to you, enough to begin that echo, and the rest is sort of a pale white, kind of leaning toward yellow, as sort of like you're having to draw on the primordial to get the rest of it to go. It looks beautiful. Definitely that gilded, ornamental armor, like a ceremony.
Fancy.
And in this moment of like, kind of, I want to get to the end, it takes just a single step and you're past the statues. And you're looking out over clouds that go on forever, over essentially a vast like set of mountains and plains that you can tell go on infinitely, even though they also are very clearly, you can see the end of them. The heavens. You see dragons from all era, from the first false dragons to the newest and the last. You see some who you've never even seen before, some that are made of clockwork, half molten, that sort of comes back to life as they breathe life into themselves. It seems any visage that calls itself dragon may find itself here should they wish. The home of the first and the last true dragon. It's in that moment, too, that you can feel the presence of a god kneel in front of you. You sort of feel it before it happens, but you see this massive dragon begin to form, starting with its like face and then all the way down. As the primordial's massive body appears, slowly morphs smaller and smaller until it's like 150 feet long, which is tiny for its usual size. Puts an arm in front of you with a fist that's as big as your body, and bows its head just a little bit.
Our meeting was a sorrowful endeavor. I wish not to make enemies of those who have done me no ill will. Or your god may call me enemy, and I may call her foe. The mortals are those whom we are sworn to protect, and I will continue to do that to my utmost. Rune High Scale Brightpaz. I offer an apology for what I have done to harm you, and though I will not undo what I have done against Astilleborn, I will undo my ill will toward yourself and your friends.
Rune, you have an understanding that true dragons don't apologize. They don't say, I'm sorry, they destroy the problem. It's the only moment of weakness you've seen from this force of nature.
Why? Why summon me here? I give you power for your time in the wilds, and I will do the same should you continue to dwell there. Your family in years past and before your father's time found themselves worshipping one such as I. Though I do not ask for worship, it was appreciated. And though I do not ask you to do the same, I only mention that should you need the will of a primordial, while Astilleborn will not have my light, you will. I do not wish to harm you if I do not have to. I do not wish to draw ill will if I do not have to. The point is to preserve and protect the world, to keep nature in order. A storm will strike however it wishes, at random. The world will continue to order at random. The world is, as it has always been, of free will. But I wish to offer you my will, should you need it. I do not think that you should like me, nor do I think you do. But I wish you to understand me. As a cleric would understand the ability to heal, as a bard would understand the lute. I wish you only understand what I am, rather than who you think I am.
Why did the old gods betray you?
That is a good question. And to understand it, you must understand people. You must understand those who now call themselves mortal. You understand yourself, I assume. The drive for power is unending. The old gods did not betray me. The Primordials did not betray me. The only one who did so out of deception. She was lied to. The Creator was destroyed after my destruction. And in her place, in my place, our power distributed among those who would be mortals, those who wanted to become a pantheon. The drive for power was unending. And the absence of chaos, the absence of a randomness in the world of constant death and destruction bored them. So they decided to be gods, so that mortals could be their playthings, to suffer and live as they pleased, in a way that would do nothing but give harm. They turned afterlives into something temporary. They turned the world into something of destruction. While I do destroy, I create as well. And while there is death, there is always life built anew. In the rubble of a Syllabor's tower, already new species find themselves growing from the grasses. Everything is one and the same. The Pantheon did not agree. And you can look to the reign of the last Nightmare King, or perhaps the reign of those who would call themselves tyrants, to see what happens in the absence of order, in chaos. Folly of man is why they betrayed me. And it's a folly that I'm glad to lack.
Does the concept of change somehow connect inside your mind?
Of course it does.
Change is natural, yes.
Change is a very natural course of the world, and it changes constantly. Evolution, movement, continental drift, everything is changing at all times. I would never wish for it to stay the same for eternity.
Though even if you may be in the right, has it ever occurred to you after you've been afraid that possibly the ones that did betray you, maybe that they have changed?
I would look only to the rule of the dragons, the last dragons, for you to tell me if that's true. A real god would step in the way of such tyrant tyranny, and assure the safety of mortals that they are meant to protect. It is their job, it is their purpose, it is their will. Without the assistance of gods, though for you it may sound excessive, without the assistance of a god, some may never fall. Some do not have to suffer. Some could live better lives, longer lives, happier lives. with only the assistance, though, Jarf, of a caring god. I do not wish to do any ill will to those around, but even if gods change, even if this pantheon changes, unless they do as we once did, unless they hold themselves to the highest degree of understanding and power and goodwill, there is no hope. The only reason that mortals have done as much as they have is with the assistance of these pseudo-gods, like the Egg Forts or this James character who's recently died. Pseudo-gods who will do their will only to ensure that there is some amount of considerable damage done to the evil to ensure the survival of what little good there really is. There's corruption in every vein of this world. I only wish to ensure that some of that corruption does not spread to the gods themselves. It is not their purpose.
And what is it your say to say what their purpose is? Was it your say to say that gods must interfere in that manner so directly? You claim free will, but you treat mortals as if they're just children.
They are not children. They are not. They are powerful. They are strong and interesting. But mortals do not hold the clay to shape the world as we do. And that lack is something that we must step in to help, lest they fall to their own folly as they have done countless times.
Rune, it's as he says that he sort of imbues you with basically the knowledge of the world that he has recently gained. Thousands of years of war that has ended in suffering, countries that have fallen, the mass genocide done by the Drow quite a while ago, and similarly done by Valyria to magic users. Essentially a constant reminder of the gods left, basically. They took donations, they did their few miracles, and they just sort of left. And the few that did anything good only did so for their paladins and clerics, and that even does reign true for your own god. The gods are very powerful, but they limit themselves intentionally because they do not wish to run the world as they were sort of meant to do. Their whole purpose as like pillars of the world is to ensure the safety and continuity of a surviving world. And while the Grand Pantheon, the planets and the moon and the sun, they are doing their jobs perfectly. They are doing what they're supposed to do. The gods of wealth and the gods of power and the gods of order, none of them are doing their job. They haven't been for a very long time, perhaps thousands of years.
Rune kind of looks up to him kind of soberly, just...
Do you not see it the same way I do? Just looking at you, look what happened when the gods interfered. Maybe it isn't just it's not their place. Maybe to a certain degree, but to be so hands-on, it feels
Free will is
wrong.
guaranteed. Free will is guaranteed. I mean nothing of that. I mean, we must be hands-on for the safety of the continued survival of the world as a whole. And I must say, Mr. Brightpaz, given your ambitions, your goals, if you don't understand that, perhaps it is you who does not see the truth.
And with that, you feel an immediate pull as a tiny spark of lightning, as like he sort of reaches down with like a gentle little pat and strokes the side of your cheek with the back of his hand. You feel a tiny bolt of lightning go from one temple to the other. As Rune.
Hold on, before he transports me away, there's something else I need to say.
Go for it.
That's the scariest thing, is I see more of myself in you than anything else.
Gives a sort of smile at that and a bit of a somber look himself.
If that is what you say, then perhaps you will learn to see truth in it as well. Do not fear the power you see in yourself instead. Try to find out the real source of it. Because as it stands, I must say your path is quite well worn with darkness. Goodbye, Mr. Brightpaz.
In that moment, yeah, you do feel that lightning of just what is happening. And your eyes sort of flare over, and you begin to see sort of descriptors and details in the world that you didn't before. A sort of permanent identify spell, just about. Very strange for you. As he gives you some ability to see the truth. And with that, you are zapped into the world. Rune, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
This is just normal. Gross.
Hey, Fitz,
Yeah.
and Rivali.
Oh fuck.
Oh god.
So... you guys watch as
That was
Rune...
a 12, by the way.
Doesn't matter. Rune, you come into the world as a ship with legs is stumbling and like rolling and crunch, like 100 people dead immediately. And all of a sudden, as you watch the front of it, boom, you find yourself planted firmly on a back piece of it that has just thrown itself off of the ship. Rune, your armor, your body sort of like armor and all crunches in on itself, and just with wood and trees and everything, you barrel through like a cannonball as it's just perhaps the most surprising amount of pain you've ever felt.
Get fucked.
It is not something that, first off, the 10 hit points are definitely gone. I'm gonna just take the 10 hit points and call that your damage, and then just take 1 damage out of your actual like full health. Very lucky.
Okay.
But as Fitz and Rivali, you watch as a sort of tear forms in the world. And for Fitz and Rivali, you both find yourself briefly in the presence of the Primordial again. And in this case, Fitz.
Yeah.
You see his eyes look to you for the briefest moment before before this lightning strikes down. Just a slow turn and perfect eye contact with you through these emerald green eyes, made up of like ancient gemstones that you do not know the names for.
Fitz just kind of looks at it with, not necessarily with like a little bit of like, maybe like fear, because he wants like, on one hand he wants to like awkwardly wave, but on the other hand he's just like, okay, yeah, that's the biggin.
All in good time, Fitzgerald.
And it knows my
Rivali
name
is
too.
just
Oh, I hate that.
It is a pleasure to see you again. May next we speak in civil times.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, is the Primordial giving off like abundance of light?
The Primordial is giving off an abundance of light, energy. The sand under where his visage appears is glass now. Beautiful and brilliant. It is a split second.
Arthur passes out.
Perfect.
Rivali is
Arthur.
just, like I said, fascinated. Just holy
Well,
shit.
no, I'm passing out because my entire being is basically being burnt alive.
By the way, Rivali.
Uh-huh.
This is the largest creature you have ever seen, and you've seen a mile-long sea serpent.
Rivali looks like he's at Disney World. Just huge grin, just like, holy shit. And
Well, he's not that big around. He's just very, very like long, and he's like an Eastern, like an Asian dragon. And he disappears as a bolt of lightning casts from him as his body moves away, and you watch Rune as y'all's ship finally like crunches into a place. One of the last moving pieces of y'all's ship that's still tumbling your way. All of a sudden, Rune is standing there with gilded armor, and then it's like, oh, boom! He's just immediately smashed through sand and dirt and trees, and then the piece of like wood stabs into the earth like a knife, and Rune with a thunk is crunched into it.
Fitz, should we go help him?
He's like 20 feet away from you guys now. Rune, you're conscious.
Are they still moving?
No, it's finally, yeah, you've thunked to a stop with them.
Rune is just gonna get up slightly and then immediately fall over, just on his back.
The quietest apology of like a mental message from the Primordial of just like, I had assumed that the ship was stopped. Oops.
Fitz, buddy. What? That was awesome, first of all.
Yeah, no.
Second of all, Rivali is gonna turn away and vomit.
A slight
Yeah.
bit of assistance says he's gonna raise one arm.
Fitz goes to help him up.
As Rune kind of like gives like a big smile looking at Fitzgerald.
I knew you weren't dead.
Oh no, I'm still totally dead.
Rune, you see Fitz has like bandages around his midsection, and you can see through the bandages out the other end.
And then
Curious.
are my eyes still doing that kind of like teal kind of?
Your eyes are
deal?
glowing the way that like Percy's and Grogar's did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So like, it's still like visual like possession of my body.
Yeah, he is visibly possessing himself.
Yeah.
Rivali also comes over to help once he's done, you know.
Yeah, I'm just like picking up. Yeah, no, still most definitely dead.
At this point, basically on impact, Rune's armor just fucking just hit the echo, just disintegrates
Yeah.
from impact.
Mm-hmm.
Rune, Fitz, and Rivali, welcome. Welcome to the Fey Wild proper. You are no longer in your tutorial area. Welcome to the Mithridian.
That was the tutorial area?
Yes.
I thought this was supposed to be a side quest!
Fuck
No.
your side quests!
No, the Feywild has been an important lead up for a little while now, actually.
Yeah, I believe the method we got here was not the intended method, but it works.
I thought it was going to be a side mission that was going to, fuck, I don't know, just, like, it was gonna, like, have space stuff in it, and, like, it would be, like, hinting towards stuff to come, not just be like, oh, we're here now!
Well, I think it's like the situation with the Primordial.
It was an accident. But this is essentially a method to resurrect Fitz and get out of here.
Also, Fitzgerald, I think the Primordial may be on our side.
Oh, cool. I thought it would be still pissed at us, kind of stabbing it awake.
No, he probably still wants to kill you, but that's besides the point.
Fair.
Wait, Fitz
What did you
Fitz
do?
didn't do
Piss off a
anything.
dragon!
Wait, I don't think Fitz did anything though.
Fitz and Liam both were there whenever he got stabbed in the face.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no,
So-
look, I may not have done the stabbing. I just bore witness to it, and then I still take credit for awakening it.
Uh-huh.
It's what the fuck did you
Oh.
get up to while I was gone?
As basically, like, Rune is gonna, like, with Fitz, is just gonna mind touch with him and just kind of, like, relay a bunch of the images that it was shown and just kind of very, very quickly, like, exposition and explain, yeah, the current gods were kind of tricked, like, they were kind of misled and they did a bad and now they feel bad and
Mind touch,
they're
that just
and
sounds
they've just kind of
Stop
like
that,
gone hands off, thinking that they've done good, and in actuality, them being hands off has led the world to be shit.
Yeah.
It's not
So
just
there's
that.
that.
It's not.
I'm
just
giving
that,
him
it's-
a very abridged version.
Oh,
like
I
this is-
know.
I'm just shooting all of this information into his mind in like a fraction of a second.
Can I
I'm
roll
giving a single bit of info that is very important.
What?
What we would all consider
Literally the
God.
literally the Yu-Gi-Oh! Open your mind, Kaiba.
What you guys would consider God, like in this world, right? Like right now in the real world, what we would maybe consider like, oh, God. There's at least what most people believe. There's one God, and that's sort of the one who created the earth and whatnot. That's the first primordial. They were tricked into believing by the mortals of the time. Oh, the primordial, the second one, he's gonna kill me. He's weak. I need to kill him. That was the plan. That is what sort of was done, at least to a degree where he was almost dead, and the mortals turned around and killed her. And then they took her power to become gods. Now, while they do regret that, they fully destroyed the primordial out of fear after that. They were like, we're not going to do it. We're done. And that first pantheon, while most of them did die, the draconic pantheon is part of it, and they're still alive. And every pantheon since, besides like the sun, moon, order, and destruction, have just been hands off.
Oh.
That's the info you all are aware of now.
Out of curiosity, is Diana awake?
Also never met this person. Who dis?
As he's looking at Jarf.
Just
Oh yeah, some new guy. Real quick, with that split-second mental mindfuck, can I roll a con
Wait.
save?
Wait,
Yes.
where's Abigail?
Dead.
Roll a con save. Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
yeah. Out of curiosity, is Diana awake?
Your dog,
Yeah.
Abigail, Athriel, Luke, and I think that's everybody who was
Wait.
fully fucked.
Wait, is she dead or you
No, she's
dead?
not. She's just in a coma. Yeah, no.
And Wesley.
Rune is
Wesley
going to,
just, like-
with what little strength he had, punch you for that.
Fair. How much damage?
Okay, let me, 8 damage if it hits.
Everyone except for Luke. Everyone except for Luke and Wesley is held inside of a bloody shield made by Athriel. So Abigail and oh my god, and Velody are safe. Abigail, Athriel, and Velody are safe. They do not seem dead or even close to it, Rune.
Yeah, take 8 damage, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess
Bitch,
the
you're not sure that your
primordial's
arm is supposed to
gone.
sound like that.
Yeah, the primordial's gone, correct?
Motherfuck.
Yeah, the primordial is gone. Your burned up body is fine, and your wolf is okay.
Yeah,
Um,
my wolf rushes over me and just nudges me. He, thank you, Diana. God.
How long have I been gone?
It's from your perspective about 2-3 days.
Couple of days, 2 or 3 tops.
From Rune's perspective, how long has he been gone?
Few hours.
Oh, time is a bitch.
You know,
I-
I was just about to say the same thing.
I prop myself up with my sword, or one-handedly, and just look over at Rune like, who's the bright guy?
It's a
One
friend.
of yours?
Yeah, it's with us.
Rune
Okay.
High Scale Brightpaz at your service. Paladine of Estillabor.
That explains why you're so bright. You're a paladin. I reach out my my armor or left arm, Arthur, the sworn defender of Abigail von Raventhorn. God, you're bright.
Alright, cool. So while the injured catch up,
You
Oh, as you're
Are you-
looking at me, you notice I am missing part of my torso.
Yeah, it's been ripped out.
And as
Um,
you see black viscous.
Rune is just gonna look at all
tar.
3 of you, especially Fitz and Rivali.
are you all just dead?
Honestly, I don't know.
for Rivali, it hasn't really been. I don't know. Kind of. We're gonna go 50-50 on that. I'm
Ravon looks perfectly normal.
okay.
Why does everyone we meet come back to life?
Is this really something we're complaining about at the moment, considering, you know...
I'm so confused!
We'll stay confused. We still got shit to do.
I mean, from what I've heard, how many times have you come back?
Yeah, you're one to talk.
Rune is gonna brain blast her real quick with everything that he just did to Fitz, and then just give her the look of like, bitch, I've been through a lot today.
Rivali.
Welcome to the club! I did a barrel roll!
Rivali.
Yeah.
That does not damage you.
Rivali's just mentally like, I'm not reading all that.
I mean, you understand it all immediately. It's just one of those moments of like, bam, okay, I now understand like 40 religions. How'd that happen?
Thank God for psychic powers.
Interesting.
Weirdly,
What is it?
Rivali,
Exposition so easy. Isn't that right, God?
yeah. Rivali, you do gain a weird, like, momentary, like, understanding of like, wow, there's a god of lycanthropy who's very hands-on. That's kind of cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
one of the few good ones. And Fitz, you're the most... Fitz is really the most important person in this moment, though, as you guys sort of come to and step off of this ship. Fitz, you feel that pull that they talked about. The pull that little pixie talked about.
Right, the same pull that I kind of felt when looking into the vortex in the sea there.
Yes. Of magic that might help you, a place for you to find yourself, and you find yourself watching as, like, ahead of you, you can almost see a line of arcana, like a quest trail, basically, of just like, that's the right path. Now, Rivali and Rune, you don't see a path at all, and Arthur, you don't even see any arcana anywhere near Fitz. You just see, like, the roads. There are a bunch of branching paths and whatnot. Fitz, you know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
It's a darker path that leads through ruins, but it seems to be leading you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Hey, can I roll a perception check on Rune, the like smell for something dark?
Sure. What specifically are you looking for?
As in contact with a being akin to me. Like
That's a good question.
a certain dragon, the
Mm,
effigy of a dragon.
there is a very faint, like, touch, but it was a long time ago, it seems.
Hey, Mr. Mr. Brightpaz, you ever encountered anything, I don't know, oozing with dark tar, like substance, something of
Many of
the
them,
dark?
yes.
More specifically, something that was more akin to beast than man.
Yes, many of those.
I'm trying to think of a way to make more specific, because I can smell its faint scent on you.
It might have killed me once.
Then I think we have a common foe. And you just hear a faint snarling. And I see, like, just the thought occurs of just the thing that's here. It's here.
It seems to have an attachment to me.
Hey, Fitz,
Yeah.
do you tell anybody what you're seeing, or do you just follow the path?
Yeah, I tell them.
Okay. I would say, especially in this moment of, like, these two are very invested in their conversation.
Yeah. Leave them to their bickering. I tell the rest of them, like, hey, this is the path we need to go.
Athriel puts some people, like the unconscious people, onto boards and, like, begins to drag them behind you guys. Rune and Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
you're both very quickly just alone.
Rivali has also helped pulling people along.
I assume
Fantastic.
Diana is pulling
Can actually-
Abigail.
I was gonna say, like, as they kind of realize that they've been left alone, can I just like leave like a single bandage with the words "catch up whenever"?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Oh,
You're able to do that.
Fuck yeah.
Incredible.
Okay. So
Without needing to like put any focus into it, Fitz, it's just like leave that message. Your body's a bit less stable now, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Somebody unwraps the mummy.
Yeah, just like catch up whenever, and then point to where we've gone.
Wonderful. Yeah, you guys know the path. And Fitz.
Yeah.
So the current intent is to go to the Temple of Leviathans, the sort of first big sea creatures, powerful things like, again, like massive creatures such as krakens and whatnot, things that are very powerful and would need a powerful god to go toward. Thus, as you begin to like get closer, which closer is pretty relative here, considering again distance means nothing. As you cusp over, as you like sort of walk through these massive like mushroom trees and crystals and caverns, as you pass finally around one of these massive corners, you see the lands that you're walking into of this temple. The sort of final stretch, the moment where it's like we're going to be home soon. It is beautiful. It is visibly dangerous. You see ahead of you a beautiful, massive temple on the seaside. And you see out in the waters hundreds of creatures diving and moving, serpents that are so long you couldn't fathom it, things that need the Fey Wild to be big enough to survive. Krakens that have gotten so large that they just sort of sunk to the seabed and live there now. Things that are impossible. And sitting next to it is a temple that is dwarfed by them, where they seem to be worshipping. Now, if they see you, it could be disastrous.
Right.
But if you get there, it could be as simple as running through a portal, and then you're back home and alive.
It's tricky.
The only other thing you're aware of in this huge, like, vast plain is, like, there's not really forest.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sparsely forested, more like a plains than anything. And you also see, pretty far away from it in the kind of opposite direction, the massive city, the namesake of these lands. You see the Mithridian. And while there's a lot of like beautiful stuff and it's pretty and whatever, if it's a big city, there's more than likely guard postings. And while you're probably not going to go piloting a ship anytime soon, man, it could be a useful distraction. There's a lot of options that are very suddenly available to you, essentially, of like, there could be airships, there could be crystals we could explode, there could be disguises we could use, there could be ways underneath.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sudden realization of, if it's populated, then it's not just one or two options. I have thousands ahead of me. And if people are, because there's ships out there with those creatures,
Mm-hmm.
if people are able to do that, you may be safer than you may think.
Okay.
So with this understanding, and as we sort of come to this realization of, there's a lot we can do, and only one thing we definitely need to do, and that's get there and get through.
Mm-hmm.
That I think we will call our session.
Oh, actually, before we call our session, as me and Rune are, I guess, trying to catch up, can I check up on my my sprig of lavender?
It is sort of crushed in your hand a little bit. It's in two pieces. Most of the flowers are flattened or have like sort of started to turn to dust. It's soaking wet, so it's more like
Mush.
gritty. Yeah, like a mush. You're not sure if you could fix it.
No. I'm curious, do I see a bit of the
You don't see a bit of the nymph.
No. This isn't good. This isn't good.
As
I-
Arthur has a crisis, we call the session.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And yes, you guys find your way into the Mithridian. Not only that, but to the coasts of the Mithridian. Very quickly, I'll add, as you guys sort of find your way of like, we are fucking gone. The ship is destroyed. The Spriggan is alive, but fainted.
Hmm.
Their livelihood is destroyed.
Yeah,
And Fitz, your way home is visible and open.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, I will say, next session should go much quicker and easier for some of the stuff. The way home is obvious. The things that need to be done are also quite obvious. A return to Leviathan is very much up there. Where to go and what to do, that is the question of our next session. But at the very least, our path is clear for the first time in a very long time.
Hot damn.
Yeah. And fucking Arthur is just panicking because the only way he knows how to fix this requires someone who's currently unusable.
Incapacitated.
Incapacitated, yeah.
Unusable.
Yeah.
What a unintentionally sexist remark.
Damn. Wow,
Yeah, fuck.
Arthur.
Fucking typical.
Hey,
God.
hey, no, blame that on me. Jarf.
Yeah.
Not on Arthur.
I'm blaming it on Arthur, and I'm throwing him into the pit of sea creatures.
How could Gorka Morka do this?
How dare?
Indeed.
Hey, you leave Gorka Morka out of his. He is a sweet boy.
I don't know. He just said something pretty unintentionally sexist.
Yeah, seriously.
He might
for
be a slight
shame.
bit racist, but he ain't sexist.
Oh man, wow.
That's not great.
That's not, dude.
Don't you remember? I called fucking someone knife ear.
And you called me knife ear, you fuck.
Exactly.
Ari.
You bitch.
Oh yeah.
You know what? No. I'm using you as fucking bait next time.
Wait, Arthur? Yeah, no, that.
Yeah,
actually
intentionally
kinda what I
or
wanted.
unintentionally. I don't fucking.
Oh no, I trust me. I intend for him to be. I understand he's probably going to be the focus of a lot of shit.
I hope this was fun, by the way.
It was.
This was fun.
I
no
re-
longer want to be
Coming off of
considered
last
related to
time,
these guys.
I spent the whole week sitting here like, that Fey is tranced now. The fuck do I do about that? And then I was like, oh, nothing. I do nothing about that.
Only
They can't
all
roll
I've
a
had
save.
for a while is like whacking the fuck out of that dude and get that arm off.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the fact that I just said I can't roll a save and I rolled a nat 20 on my physical die, I'm so mad. That would have been funny as hell. Of like, okay guys, you have to work to get control of the ship and never mind.
I fucking. But yeah, Arthur's having a bit of a panic attack because he's freaking out because that sprig is very important to him.
With good reason.
Yeah. Kind of.
Also, with an completely unrelated topic, with Yu-Gi-Oh! From last time, we know how I mentioned I'm constructing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cube.
Yeah.
Yes.
After your guys' reaction, like, to rules, I kind of realized, wow, I overcomplicated things, so I just kind of, like, I made it to 6. I brought it down from 11 to 6
fuck.
rules and fit it all on,
Are you
on one
okay, Ian?
page.
Yeah, I just dropped
and
the pen.
reworded things so they're less complicated. Let's go me.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh! It has to be needlessly complicated and vague.
But it's not, because it's just classic. It's old Yu-Gi-Oh! It's old.
My
True.
deck has no weak cards,
But
Rune.
it's yeah. Good old
Correction,
fucking
the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
cube does have lots of weak cards.
My
That's the whole
deck
point.
has no weak cards, Kaiba.
What?
My dick. My penis has no weak cards, Kaiba.
Alright. You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate dick.
Oh, that's I fucking love.
How
A
dare you?
fourth-rate dick.
I
I'm excited for the return to life of Fitz.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
fun, and with that, we're ending stream.
Yeah.
Bye, stream.
Okay,
Ta-ta.
but see you maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
But
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Whenever that
So
tomorrow may
long, bitches.
be. Hookah